Hey guys, in this video we're going to be showing you how to install the slammer as well as with the crown. Now when it comes to installing the slammer, when you're going to remove this right here, you'll use a size 13 wrench, and then right here you'll use a size 17 to take this apart. And then now something that you would want to notice as well when it comes to when you're going to install the slammer is this part right here. We have two parts right here. This is the one that's at a 45-degree angle, which comes with the original fork. This is the stock part. This right here is at a 90-degree angle. Now with this, it's going to face a little bit, it's going to slant down a little bit more, and with this one, it's going to be more straight. And you could either use this one right here, but just hit it with the hammer till you get it to the 90-degree angle, or if you don't want to do all the work, you could also buy the piece itself at a 90-degree angle. Now just remember, the slammer we're showing you and the crown, if it's right now, what we have right here is a 16-inch bike. But this is universal. It fits on the 16-inch, 20-inch, 24-inch, and 26-inch. Now, another thing that we also want to remind you guys of is keep in mind, if you're going to use the original 45-degree angle, when you use the slammer, every time you pick it up and slam it down, the crown might hit the fender right here. So it's going to make a dent. So if you want to make sure to prevent out of that happening, most likely what you will want to do is either, like I said, hammer this into a 90-degree angle, or if you don't want to go through that, you can also just buy it that it comes at a 90-degree angle, just to save you from the trouble of having to hammer it and not wanting to do any errors or anything. But that's just a simple reminder that if you do decide to go with the 45-degree angle, keeping it like how it is, every time you slam it, you will most likely hit the fender, and you will cause a dent on the fender as well. Now, with the 90-degree angle one, keep in mind that it might be a little bit slanted, but it's still gonna be more straightforward. So every time you slam it, you use a slammer, it's not gonna hit with the fender right here. So this right here, even if you use this, it might be at like I said, at an angle, but every time that you use a slammer, it's not gonna hit into the fender right here. Now, the way we're gonna be showing how to install the crown with the slammer, we understand that about 90% of the people don't have bike stands, because usually we will use our bike stand to install the crown and slammer. But we're gonna be showing how to do it on ground, so everybody could understand how to do it. Now, the first step that we're gonna do is we're gonna use the 13 wrench, and we might also need to use that flathead screwdriver, just in case it's a little bit more harder to take it out. So you're gonna loosen the screws on the sides first. Okay, now that we removed the screws from the sides right here, we're gonna remove this big screw right here. You could use a 17 wrench, but usually we use the impact with the 17 socket. Now that this is removed right here, the only things that we're gonna use out of this, all this right here, is the spring, as well as the metal washer with the plastic piece. And we're gonna install it onto the crown. Now when it comes to the slammer, it comes in two pieces. This piece right here is gonna go on this part right here. And this part right here is where we're gonna put the spring. Like that. Okay. All right, now when it comes to the springs, this one right here is the 16-inch, and this one's the one that comes with the 20, 24, and 26-inch forks. Now with this one right here, the hole is a lot smaller, so even if we try to install it the way we took it out, it's not gonna fit. So what we do is we just flip it around in order to make it fit. Then after that, we install the crown as well. Now, when it comes to the spring that comes with the 20 and 24 and 26-inch forks, you could put it the way that you took it off, and put it the exact same way because the hole is bigger. Now, resuming from the part where we took everything off from the old crown, what we're gonna do next is put the spring onto the slammer. After that, proceed to put the crown onto the slammer as well with the spring. Next, you put that piece of rubber onto the screw. After that, you will put the metal washer on top of the piece of rubber. And then finally, you will put the screw on top of the piece of washer. And that's how it should look. Now, next step that we do is install this part right here onto the that part right there. Now keep in mind that when you install this, you want to make sure that the hole, or sometimes it comes with a little opening right here, is facing upwards because you're going to be using the slammer. And when we install the slammer, usually at the shop, we use an extra bar right here, and we put it on the back part right here. Now next, what we're gonna do is put the whole spring with the crown onto the piece right there. Next, what we're gonna do is install the screw onto one side. Next step, we're gonna put the screw onto the other side. Next, what we're gonna do is tighten up these two screws with the 13 wrench, but not too much, only as enough as the regular arm pressure to go. Now, as a reminder, we did say that this bike right here that we're using for the presentation on how to install the slammer with the crown is a 16-inch. It doesn't matter if it's a 16-inch, a 20-inch, 24-inch, or 26-inch, but when you're using this part right here, the one stock how it is at a 45-degree angle, the slammer is gonna hit onto the fender 90% of the times. As you can see right here, how it has a slope going downwards. Now, if you were to go ahead and use the hammer and put it at a 90-degree angle, or just by the 90-degree angle part right here, this right here, would be more straightforward and be more upwards. So that way you have a lot more clearance when you use the slammer to use it, and it's not gonna hit the fender right here. And it as well, this is a bent fork right here. It doesn't matter if you're using a bent fork or a straight fork. Either way, like I said, if you use the stock piece right here, it is gonna hit the fender. Now that the slammer and the crown is installed, us being a bike shop and having more experience, you know, there's little tricks that we usually do, which is why the slammer is not hitting onto the fender. Now, what we did before the video was grab the fender braces right here, cut it down, and drill a hole so this right here could be more closer to the tire. Now, what you would want to do when you test out the slammer to make sure that it doesn't hit the fender is do it by hand. So bring it upwards slowly. Make sure everything's sturdy. And after that, when you're gonna release it, do it slowly and carefully. And just like that. Now, when it comes to people who install it already, we do understand that they have a little bit of excitement, so they want to see it work fast. So usually they'll go ahead and in a rush see it, and most of the times when they do that, they'll leave a hole or a dent onto the fender. Now, when it comes to the slammer, this bolt right here, the one that you would add onto it, you would want to tighten this all the way because you don't want this piece right here to move. And going back to the excitement part about people once they install it, we do understand that people want to get in the rush of seeing it work. But before you do that, remember to proceed to do ahead and check that it doesn't hit the fender when you go ahead and use the slammer. That's why you would want to do it by hand at first to make sure that you have enough clearance to use the slammer. And that's if you don't go ahead like how we did it, cut the fender brace down, drill the hole, or else put the part at a 90-degree angle or anything like that. So to prevent from putting a dent or a hole into your fender, make sure to, by hand, test it out at first, and then once you have enough clearance, or go ahead and revise everything and go ahead and do things to it, that's when you would go ahead and fully use the slammer.